What is up, guys, and I do hope you're well, and welcome to another episode from the Daddy Cringe subreddit, where we are tackling once again entitled parents. If you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe button, and maybe even that notification bell. And if you want your story shared, post on the Daddy Cringe subreddit today. Now, let's get started. This is from MRI don't know what NM. I don't know if I pronounced that in the right way or whatever, but thank you very much for posting this. EP tries to take our table. My dad recently got promoted by his job, so we'll be going on a business trip to celebrate. That we'll be going out to an above average restaurant, which would normally have your typical look at me and all brand clothing Karen. But I was in too much in a good mood to think what could go wrong. Oh, how wrong I was. When we got there it was packed, but we managed to find a table where a family was just leaving. Let me tell you, that table was behind the wall, right next to the corner, which means not many people can see us. Important for later. So I was told to watch the table while they're going to take our orders. Note, you need to put your order in, they don't come to you. But after like 5 minutes of waiting, approached by a wild Karen. I forgot to mention the cast. Karen, dun dun dun. Me, insert a bad joke. Mum, M, Dad, D. Innocent kid, IK. While Karen approached, I was too busy on my dad's phone he left for me to keep me entertained. Had earphones, listened to a video. Karen clears throat. Excuse me. Karen clears throat louder. Excuse. She's quiet enough not to get anyone's attention. I finally notice her. Yes? The manager says you have to get up because that's my table. I know I'm young, 12, but not brain dead. I'm sorry, we just got this table first. You millennials are so dumb and stubborn. Get up before I make you get up. She actually said that to a kid, like a villain. Karen grabs the phone out of my hand. You don't deserve this, you stupid brat. Give me that back. I'm now annoyed. You don't deserve it, and gives it to her kid. To be honest, the kid was too young to be counted as a brat. He looked 4 to 6 to me. Kid doesn't know how to get into the phone since it has a password and begins to cry. You see what you've done, you stupid brat? You've made my baby cry. In my attempt, I tried to get the phone, but got a slap to the face instead. I began to cry. Not hard, just a little bit, but that's when my parents came back. My dad said, "What did you do to my son?" "Your brat tried to hurt my son." "Dad, she has your phone." Dad sees it in a fake Gucci bag. "What the fuck? Do you have my phone?" "No, she's lost because I guess we're louder than we thought." Because a crowd started to form. My mum had to call the cops and they show up 15 minutes later. The cop came to my aid to ask if I was okay, while the other was being filled with BS from Karen. Then he came to me for my side of the story, but luckily there were cameras to give me backup. Cops asked if we want to press charges, and we did so. If you want part 2, it will be coming sometime next week. And don't forget to share that, my dude. But yeah, to slap a child, what the hell in a restaurant? They must be absolutely insane. I can see like a family approaching the child to try and get him to move from his seat, but surely they must realise that they got a family nearby somewhere, that they're going to come back and try and protect their little one. Oh my word. Yes. Entitled mum tells me to grow up before cussing me out. So this happened a few months ago, and it's not like the other stories on here. I wanted to share this, but really dreaded because of anxiety. A little bit of backstory. My friend, who we'll call B, used to date ES, entitled son. We're 16. ES was a total jerk to her. B had been raped by a different person several months ago, and ES had several fights about him saying she was lying about it. My fucking god, it's gonna do my nutting already. He finally broke up with her for good after weeks upon weeks of fighting about it. Now that you have some backstory, let's get into where I come into this story. ES, entitled son. B, my friend. Me, obviously. BF, friend's boyfriend. So about 2 weeks after B and ES broke up, B texted me saying that ES was being a total douche and was going around telling everyone that she had lied about being raped. She said EM and ES were taking away everything that she had. Now I was pissed because 1, this guy broke up with her, and 2, I hadn't seen her happy in a year and a half, the span of which B and ES dated. I'd finally seen her smile for the first time in months, so this really pissed me off. I texted ES and said the following: "What the fuck, dude? Just leave B alone. She deserves to be happy. Stop being pathetic and just leave her be happy. I know I shouldn't have said he was pathetic, but I didn't like the guy and I was beyond pissed. Anyway, he didn't answer, and hours later he calls me. At least my phone said he was calling me. When I hit decline, there was no message on the screen saying I'd missed a call. He'd called me on Facebook Messenger, so there's usually a message that says you missed a call from someone. Being curious about what he wanted, I stupidly called back. Big mistake, but whatever. He didn't answer, and not even 3 seconds after I called him, he called me back. I answered, and the conversation went something along the lines of this. What do you want? Who the hell are you? I'm shocked. I'm one of B's friends. Keep in mind, I said I had anxiety. This confrontation scared the shit out of me, and I was instantly shaken when I realised what was happening. Oh, you're one of B's friends. So why are you calling me my fucking kid? She never actually called him by his name. She just kept calling him my fucking kid. He called me. I was just seeing what he wanted. I've had his phone. He didn't call you. Why are you texting my fucking kid and calling him a worthless piece of shit? He's been harassing B. I'm sick of this shit. You all need to grow up. Once you get out of high school, you would have to be an adult. What is he even doing? That's not my place to tell you. He should tell you. Well, obviously it's your place since you're in the middle of it. No, I'm not. I'm just friends with B. Are you with them 100% of the time at school? Do you know every fucking thing that happens to them? No, I don't. I just know what B has told me. Did you know he took a necklace he gave her back to the store because she thought she would get $300 for it? No, I didn't know that. I was shaking and my heart was pounding in my ears, but I didn't care. This lady was really pissing me off at this point. Exactly. You don't know half the shit she has done to my fucking kid. You kids need to stop sticking your nose into shit that isn't your fucking business. God, she likes to say fucking go up. You're the one cussing out a 16-year-old, so at this point I was done. Yes, I am, because I'm sick of you brats harassing my fucking kid. Whatever. After this, I hung up. I was livid, beyond pissed that this bitch had the audacity to tell me that I need to grow up when she, a 36-year-old woman, then proceeded to cuss out at me, a 16-year-old high school student. I blocked ES and told B about the whole thing. She thanked me for standing up for her and said she was sorry that I had to go through that. She then told me that this wasn't the first time EM was dragging people who weren't involved in the situation into it. ES had told B and BF that BFM and BFD, had told EM and ES's grandpa that B had lied about being raped. He also told B and BF that he had gotten kicked out of school. This was before the whole situation with me and EM. The next day at school, ES didn't show up. I heard later from B that EM came in yelling at the principal, who was on B's side of this situation and was really understanding and caring about it, and saying that she was tired of B and her friends, aka me, harassing her son and that the school wasn't doing anything about it. She said that he was being harassed by all of B's friends, but all I had done was stick up for B. All of her other friends hadn't done anything. According to B, ES got expelled, but I'm assuming EM had just pulled him out and took him to a different district. But the funniest part of the story is EM is supposedly taking ES to a school in the town next to us. The principal who took B's side on the situation is going to be the principal at that school next year. I haven't heard from ES since. I don't want to either, so I guess that's good. Sorry if the formatting is bad. I'm on mobile. Hope you enjoyed. Sorry if this was bad. Also, it wasn't word for word because I was having a small panic attack the whole time, so I tuned EM out of some of it. Whew. No, it's like one of these ones that, you know, it's not over the top explosive, so it's more believable. It sucks that girl got raped and then the boyfriend was a total fucking arse about it. I mean, how can you accuse someone of lying when they're saying that sort of thing? I know there are people who do lie about these sort of things, but I mean, come on, have some compassion, people. So this is a story from Toddled 678977. Thank you very much for sharing this story. It's a short one, but let's get involved. Entitled parent wants me to walk faster. This happened to me yesterday that it made me pissed off. Cast, me, Karen and kid. I was walking down to Tesco and I was listening to music that was loud until a wild Karen appeared. And she was literally breathing down my neck. She was so close to me, I wanted to punch her. Karen said, "Excuse me." I turn around, obviously startled. Yes? Can you walk a little faster? My kid needs to get to school. You can just go in front of me if you like, if you're in that much of a rush. The Karen just gives me the fish out of water stare. You need to walk faster, because my kid needs to go to school. Me, literally speed walking, obviously to get away from her stinky ass shit breath. Walk faster! I stop. I'm going as fast as I can. Stop breathing down my neck. Like I said, go in front of me then. And I kept walking. She kept getting close to me and complaining. Instead of literally running, I started walking slower. Just to note, the kid didn't do anything and probably didn't understand the situation. I mean, that is just an incredibly, even though it's so short, it's just so incredibly annoying because I actually truly believe this one. When I walk to work myself in the mornings, I often have like these parents walking behind me, and I'm a pretty chilled person. I chill walk when I don't want to rush into work for fuck's sake. So I get these parents who's walking behind me, and there's always this little alleyway that I have to walk down, and they're always like right on my ass, and it's just like I always stand to the side, and they sort of like give you this little cut eye look, like, for fuck's sake, dude, walk faster. I'm just like, no man, I'm too chilled for that. A post here from Connor Murphy fan. Don't know what's wrong with her. Don't know if this belongs here or entitled parents. Feel free to move if needed. We're gonna take it anyway. So back in 6th grade, I'm 21, so forgive me if something is hazy. I had this friend, let's call her T. T and I were in the same class, which was kind of a special needs class, apart from the regular class, and she was super entitled. She demanded the teacher's attention all the time. During tests, to have the questions read to her, which she didn't need, but I did, since I couldn't see the small print. At the time, I thought she was just acting up, due to a lot of things going on at the time. So one night, she asked me to stay the night at her place, which was kind of on the bad side of town, but hey, I was a kid who wanted to have fun. So I go over to her house and nothing really happened until I got home from her sleepover. As I'm unpacking my bag, I notice a VHS tape. Oh, this is old school. Which I most certainly didn't have when I arrived. So I did what any normal kid would do and bring it to school to give it to her. But I did not see her at all that day. She was in detention all day. So I gave it to the principal to give to her. The principal hated me, but hated T more. So the principal did, but later that day, her mother came running down the hallway to corner a 6th grade me. Here's the conversation. T's mum said, "Where is it?" "Where's what?" "The fucking VHS tape a kid saw you waving it around during lunch." "I wasn't. I had it in my backpack in case I saw T." "No, I wasn't. I had it in my bag to give to her." "Show me." At this point, my special needs teacher shows up. I know this pupil. She wouldn't steal anything. But despite the teacher there, I showed T's mum my backpack, which was empty. So I go home crying that day, because that was the first time of many people would get super close to my face. So the next day, I see T in class, and I go to talk to her. "Did you get anything from the principal?" "Yes, I did. I demand you apologise for stealing my tape." "S&T, pupil won't apologise for stealing my tape." I was close to tears, since that day was already bad. "She didn't do anything, so she doesn't have to apologise. She stole from me." Forgot to add she was bragging about how she put it in my sleepover bag. "No, you put it in there and got her into trouble. We all know pupil isn't that type of person, so stop trying to get her into trouble. But I demand an apology from her." At this point, everyone was looking. Luckily, I had to go for a speech session. I had a bad time pronouncing my R's. Still kinda do. But when I came back from my session, I saw that T wasn't in class. I found out from my best friend that T got detention again for throwing something at the teacher. I saw her later. My 8th grade year, she made me trip down a flight of stairs. I caught myself, but a purse I had with female products went everywhere. She said it was an accident, but nobody believed her. The sad thing is, she convinced the teacher to take my items for the rest of the day. It was after school, so I didn't care. After that, I never talked to her again. Edit, forgot to mention T created a big lie which spread like wildfire that my best friend tried to get at me. She's not like that. I only found out from a friend. What a shitty person. I mean, to hide stuff in your bag to try and get you into trouble. But I don't quite understand why you went round there in the first place. I know you're a kid and stuff, but she must have had a bit of a reputation beforehand. Ah. But yeah, I know. As kids, we do these things and then regret them later on.
And the next story we have from Spank Me Daddy 41869. Great username there. Entitled Stepmom almost ruins my wedding day. Hello, I'm on mobile, so sorry for formatting. English is my first language, so yeah, sorry for any bad grammar, punctuation, or etc. Also, it's a really long one, but we'll try to cut it down a bit. TLDR at the end. Just some background, I'm 24, female. This happened 3 years ago when I was 21, and obviously everything is written from memory. Our cast is me, duh. ESM, entitled Stepmom. D, Dad. H, husband, then fiance. There isn't really any speaking as such in this retelling from my perspective. Growing up, I didn't know my dad at all and was never really sure if I wanted contact with him. But when the time came at about 18/19, I decided I wanted to give him a chance. To cut it short, we started messaging and eventually met up, and this is when I met ESM. Although at the time I had no idea what an entitled person was, let alone looked like. Looking back on it now, she is the definition of one. The clothes, the hair, the attitude, and even her name being somewhat what we'd normally use for a person of entitlement. Oh, Karen. Now they lived about 1 hour 30 drive from where I was living, but I had a really shit home life and was desperate to get out of there. So when they said I could move to live with them, I was so excited, if only I had known. Skip ahead a few mostly uneventful years to late 2015, early 2016. At this point, me and H had been engaged for 2 years already, and ESM and her friends were dead set on getting the ball rolling on my wedding, constantly asking me to set a date, etc. We were happy as we were, but also had nothing against actually getting married, so to make them happy and keep them quiet, I gave them a date of June the 4th, 2016. My first mistake. ESM went full on crazy and just took over, pretty much planning the entire wedding, which drove me crazy. Ever since I was little, I had dreamed of my perfect wedding, but she had other ideas. Go dress shopping? Sure. I'll take you one time to look in a shop, but that's too much money. Hey, you know what? I'll just make it for you. Oh my god. So one ensued the making of my wedding dress that I didn't want. Yes, overall she did a good job. It was pretty, but I hated it. Not as much as she hated my tattoos. Lord help me. She was so incredibly insistent that I'd cover up my tattoos because they were tacky and nobody wants to see them, and you'll look back on your wedding photos in years to come and wish you'd covered them. Next was catering. Yep, that's right. I'd only asked that she make sausage rolls and the wedding cake because her homemade sausage rolls were to die for, and she did wedding cakes on the side for her normal work. Again, ESM had other ideas and decided that she was just going to do it all. I just gave up on having the say in my wedding at this point. For my wedding cake, however, I made clear several times we wanted a sponge cake because both me and H hate fruitcake, as do many other people who will be attending. And just in general, like, really? Fruitcake? But no, because she wanted to do all the catering that we didn't ask her or want her to do, we had to settle for fruitcake, so we didn't even eat any of our own wedding cake, and nearly no one else did either. So anyways, imagine months of someone telling you what you want or need for your wedding. Exhausting. We found a place to hold the reception, and they offered to pay for it, which obviously was nice of them, and I really appreciated all the time and effort and help they put in, despite the fact that I didn't want half of it. So I carried on and told myself it didn't really matter at the end of the day, as long as I got to marry the man I love. Well, that's an amazing attitude with all the shit you're going through in this story. I'm already starting to rage. So overall, me and H paid for the ceremony, marriage certificates, DJ, and D and ESM paid for the reception hall, which included a bar and the cost of ingredients and materials for the food and dress. End of story, right? We got happily married and ran off into the sunset. Wrong. The wedding day came and went. Overall pretty terrible, but it's what came out of it that made it worth it. So fast forward a few weeks after, honeymoon done and just settling back into our home and trying to get back to some sense of normality after pretty much blowing all money we had to make this wedding happen. We're just trying to spend some time with each other and clean up the never-ending pile of wrapping paper and envelopes sat on our living room floor. With all that and H working full time, we weren't going around as often as normal, nearly every day to about once or twice a week, but we still saw them a lot and they often relied on me to dog sit so they could go out and do other things. I always did this since moving up and absolutely loved doing it. We'd also gotten a dog, and therefore I couldn't just drop everything and go over to look after their dogs all day if H was working, because it meant leaving our dog for too long. I don't think she'd like this at all. So it's about 3/4 weeks after the wedding, and I get a message, it's ESM, going off at me for not coming round as much, and because they hadn't seen H at all since the wedding. He had been round to help them move an old sofa and other stuff too. And then she had the audacity to tell me that I used them just for the wedding, and that she and my dad were really disappointed and upset with me, and they didn't think I was like that, and that I didn't appreciate any of it. I lost my shit. Reading that was one of the most hurtful things ever, but I had also had enough. Yes, they did a lot for me, but I was always grateful and paid them back by always literally dropping everything to dog sit for them anytime they needed. They had 7 dogs, by the way. Wow. I was so pissed off that she had said this, I blocked her right there and then. I haven't spoken to them since, I haven't contacted them, and they haven't contacted me, despite the fact that I live 5 minutes around the corner. I have no idea what she told Dee, because she said all of this from their shared Facebook account that she controls. It hurts, but I know I don't need toxic people like that in my life, family or not. Sometimes I feel like I was the arsehole, but I was so shy and quiet and hated confrontation, so I went along with what she wanted, and it still blew up in my face. Don't ever be afraid to tell someone no, or tell someone to back off. I didn't, and I really regret it now. Wow, my word. There's no way you were the arsehole in that story. No way at all. That is a manipulative person, that is. I'm really sorry, I know that's a family member, I know it might be your stepmom, but that's a manipulative person. And I guarantee she's controlling what your dad says and said something like that you were, basically that you were the arsehole in the situation. I bet she said that to your dad and your dad went along with it, because I guarantee he's being controlled by her in that way. So you did the best thing and just cut off ties for now. When your dad comes to realise it, he will come back to you in the end. And then you have to rebuild from there. But boy, to take over your wedding, the one day, not all girls, but lots of girls look forward to in their lives, and they get this picture in their head of what they want, and some boys as well, of course. Of a special day where you get your wedding dress, your ideal cake. I mean, who the fuck likes fruitcake? No one! Give us that sponge cake with a jam in it. Jeez. Anyway, thank you so much for sharing that story. And right there, we're going to end it for today. If you did like these stories, please click that like and subscribe button and share a bit of love for the people that shared these stories on our subreddit, r/daddycringe. And get involved, guys. Thank you very much. Take care. Goodbye.